No, this is the bank value. Look, the bank value. The bank valuation is here.
No,
this is the bank valuation.
Market value is here. Market. A very wonderful day to you, everybody here that is tuning in to Propcoach. Very happy that you can make it, super excited to see you again. And today we're going to talk about a new topic, a new jargon, definition or term that has been requested from one of our Propcoach members and that we're super happy to explain here. But before we continue, you don't need a bank valuation to do this. But the market does demand you to do this. And that is, you just need to subscribe to this channel. So subscribe very, very fast so we can just continue. Okay, subscribe. Okay, go. So, the jargon of today is actually two. We are going to talk about bank valuation versus market value. Are these two the same? Is a bank valuation, is that the market value? Or vice versa, is the market value the bank valuation? You actually cannot see these two as the same. A bank valuation is literally what the value that the bank gives to a certain property. And they usually do that through an official licensed valuer or an appraiser. They appointed somebody that goes out there, that appraises or that valuates the building or a property, and with that specific price, that is the price that the bank would give for the property. That if the bank would supposedly buy the property, that's the value. I'm sorry. So with these licensed valuers, they will basically create an official report and the bank would say, we would price the property at this specific value based on the research and the prognosis of this specific valuer. So banks use this, of course, to really make sure that they manage their risks and that they always get the right pricing for a property, that they don't overpay for a property. Because if you are out there looking for a property, you want to buy a property, of course we can give any price to a property, but eventually you will probably need a loan from the bank to buy this property. So the bank wants to make sure that if they give you a loan, they give you the loan for the right value of the property. What comes down to the bank valuation. Bank valuation is a very important indicator and a very important measure of how the value of the property is in a certain area. So eventually it's all dependent on how good also the licensed valuer is, how professional licensed valuer is, but that's why we call them licensed, because they have to be officially appointed and have an official degree as a valuer to know how to do these valuations. And also usually banks appoint very specific valuers for specific areas so that they know what the real price is for a property. That means, what is the difference then to a market value? So market value is a little bit different. It's the estimated amount of which a property should exchange between a willing buyer and a willing seller. So there's a few important words here. Should exchange, not must exchange. Should exchange means it's speculative. So it means that it's based on a few factors, that what the market believes that this property should exchange. But again, comes another word, is willing buyer and willing seller. You must have a buyer that is willing to pay this price, and you must have a seller that is willing to sell it for this price. And this becomes a little bit confusing in real estate, right? Because if it's speculative, that means that we, from different perspectives, can give all different types of pricing to a property. And that's what makes market value very complicated, because in markets, you have, again, other markets. And in those markets, you have other markets. And in those markets, you have other markets. It depends a little bit of from which comparison you are looking at. From which comparison are you looking within the market and are defining what the value of a property could be. I'll give you an example. You can compare value of properties between countries, country to country. And then you can, within the country, compare pricing within cities. And then between cities, you can go into one city and then you can compare pricing between towns. And then you can go into the town, and then within the town you can compare pricing between districts. And then you go into the district, and then you go compare properties against the different property types. And then again, you can compare properties within the same property type. Eventually, there's so much data to collect, but eventually good market value is always measured by looking at the past transactions, the current properties that are for sale. You look at the current pricing value that is for sale in the market, and you also look in the future properties that are coming up for sale to determine what is the market value. When you calculate that together, you get a beautiful average, and that usually gives you the right market value. So there you have it. That is really the big difference between the bank valuation and the market value. Important for you to understand as a real estate professional, but actually important for anybody to understand that wants to do something in real estate. For today, I hope that was a great explanation for you. If you have any questions, do feel free to comment here in the comment box or reach out to us on propcoach.co. Happy to always answer any of your questions. For today, this is the end. Hope to see you soon again. Bye-bye.